culture is teaching us that this human form of life, if we look at all the at all the species of life, it is only in the human species that we can actually bring an end to sex life. Most of us don't know or don't understand that the more we are caught up in material sex life, we cannot experience spiritual sex. Actually there is what is called sex psychology on the spiritual level. If we want to remain within the material realm of things, no one will deny that there is pleasure in sex life. But what we generally don't know is that that's not the goal of life. Goal of life is to actually reawaken ourselves to our spiritual, eternal, constitutional position as spirit souls. What prohibits us to develop that understanding is our over-attachment actually to sex life. Now, naturally, people who are on the bodily platform are very much attached to sex life. Shastra is teaching us that actually sex life is meant to be there for a certain period in our life and for a particular purpose, not for the pleasure that it generates. Because then we become attached to that material pleasure, and any attachment to any material pleasure is a hindrance to our spiritual advancement. So it means that actually it's only in the human form that, you know, I see some people with a very sad look, sad expression on their, oh my God, you know, it was this Swami talking about. We declare, our Shastra declare, and I'm sorry if this is going to make you unhappy here, but human life is meant to actually put an end to sex life. My God. Human life, because it's only in the human life you can do that. And if we don't do that, we're not going to be liberated. We're never going to experience what is actual happiness. Yes, that is material happiness, but that is inferior happiness. You know, the hogs and the monkeys have a lot of sex life. They derive, you know, I mean the hog, I guess you have to go to India to kind of see it. They live in a filthy place. They have sex indiscriminately with their sister, with their mother, with whatever, you know. And they're happy. Just look at their tail, you know. Their tail is always moving. I mean, yeah, it's nobody denies. But is that real happiness? Is that lasting happiness? Is that, you know? Our Shastra is telling us that this is part of Maya. Maya means illusion. This is not reality. This is based on ahankara, false ego, false understanding. Our permanent position is to be free from all kinds of bondage. And the strongest bondage in the material world is sex life. So in the human form, you know, no animal can control sex life. It's based on instinct, isn't it? A dog sees food, he's going to go for the food. He sees a female, he's going to go for the female. We are meant to be different as human beings. We see food, well, you know, we'll at least offer a prayer, or we won't take it right away for whatever different reason. And same thing for, you know, having sex life. There are norms, there are guidelines that are given. marriage, for example, nowadays, as we know, people don't even bother to get married because it's too expensive to get a divorce. And when you have 75% of the population going for divorce, well, you save a lot of money if you don't get married. But that's not the level of civilization that we should live. That will actually open the doors to spirituality. Real life, long-lasting life, eternal life is not to deny or to neglect the material dimension of life. That's also very important. We should be meeting our basic material necessities. We should provide it, members of the family with what they need on all levels. And sex life has its place, but has its place. So, very important point to understand that we are meant to regulate our senses so that we can actually realize ourselves on the spiritual platform and live in a social situation, interact, be very happy in our relationships. But our relationships, in order for those relationships to be long-lasting, they need to have that spiritual connection. And if it's only on the material level, then we're missing the point, actually.